welcome back to our podcast about Beyond the Gates. First thing we want to say is thank you for those who have voted on our podcast. So from now on, our episode will be about 30 minutes each. Also, thank you for everyone for leaving a review, following us. We really appreciate you since this is our 1 year month of starting our podcast. So, yay to us for Beyond the Gates fans. Now, let's start off with Eva's having a hard time grieving Derek. Now, one of the things that I saw in interview with the actor that played Derek said that he really wished that his character and Eva got to know each other more. And I was hoping that we got to know them a bit more as friends. And Eva's having a very hard time with grieving Derek. And when you think about it, Eva really does not have friends. She has her mother, she has Ted, Andre, and who else? It's
Isaiah.
Isaiah. I'm like, I know I'm missing somebody. Isaiah. She doesn't really have friends, and Derek was that friend to her. So I did like what Ted was telling her about grief because he lost his brother and his sister-in-law, and he knows about grief. And he said he also bonded with Bill at that time too, because Bill had lost a friend. I wonder who friend that was though, if that's even important or not. I'm not really sure, but I did like Eva talking to Shanice about Derek because Shanice is also having a very hard time with his death. And I think grief is just one of those things that it's still painful, but it gets easier to deal with that pain over time. What were your thoughts on Ted's advice about Eva talking to someone about Derek?
I thought it was pretty good advice that he gave her because you do want to talk about the good things that you know about the person. And sometimes stories help about somebody that passed like that. So I thought it was pretty good advice that he gave her. I'm glad that she took his advice and went and talked to Shanice because, yeah, Shanice definitely has been struggling. So, yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so too. And I thought Nicole checking on Shanice was nice. Although she was like, "Are you here for me or because of Ted?" I said, "Thank you." Because I find it ridiculous that Ted keeps having other people talk to Shanice instead of him doing it. I understand he's scared he might say the wrong thing, but that's how you learn how to talk to someone, your significant other, and him continuing to ask other people like her aunt and Nicole to talk to Shanice is not the way to go. Even Nicole told Shanice that his communication skills is not the best. So Ted, please work on that because it sucks. All right.
Well, that's what happened with him and Nicole. That's how Leslie came into the
Mm-hmm.
picture because he didn't know how to talk to Nicole. And him going to Nicole and asking to talk to Shanice, I thought that was like inappropriate to do in the first place. And he should have just took a breath and then went over and tried to speak with her and not seen your ex to talk to her. I just was like, that's ridiculous. So yeah, Ted, he got a lot of things. It's like he needs to just grow up as far as I'm
Mm-hmm.
concerned, because he's just not there as far as being in a relationship with somebody. So hopefully him and Shanice can work on that and then not escalate to he turn into somebody else like he did with the whole Leslie thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very true. And also, we got Monica who decided to take Leah's position. Now, supposedly it's supposed to be a year, and she's supposed to still go back to Texas to see her patients and everything. I don't know about Monica. I understand she's not within Garland Hospital, but you don't know what she's been doing outside of Garland either. I'm not sure she's going to bring some baggage with her or what, but I guess it's okay for now. I don't know Monica well enough to get an idea of how she really is. So, do you think it's a good idea for her to be the chief of staff?
I'm not yeah, I agree with you. I'm not really sure. They haven't gave us much of like who is she really? So I'm not sure. We just have to do a wait and see on how they're gonna do her character.
Now, do you see Monica and Vernon getting together or something? Because I feel like that's a potential thing that could happen.
I saw that for a brief second. I hope not, because I love me some Vernon with Anita only. But yeah, I kind of saw that can happen.
Hmm. I can definitely see it. It's going to be messy if that was going to happen. But I don't. Well, he hasn't got with any of her girls, Sharon and Tracy. It's possible it won't happen, but he
It's just
doesn't
hope. You never
see
know.
them like that. Yeah, I'm like,
Right.
but he doesn't see them like that. With Monica, he could see her more often since she's the chief of staff and he's on the board. I don't know. I think us fans don't want to think about it, but we can potentially see it happening, right?
Yep.
That's just we're just calling it out, okay? That's all. Now next up, we got Naomi and Jacob talking. Now they're doing okay. My issue is that Jacob is pouring his heart out to Naomi. Anytime he asks her what's going on, she doesn't tell him anything. And that's the one thing I don't like about Naomi is that the girl does not speak up. She keeps her mouth shut. She tries to stay out of stuff, even when she's included. But at the same time, she wants people to tell her stuff. It's like you want everybody to tell you stuff, but you're not saying anything. So I don't know. But Jacob definitely is going through PTSD. I think everybody can see that for sure, especially when everybody was at the police
Award.
station.
Yeah.
Yeah, there, and you could see him just kind of out of it. Here, he's hearing the gunshots. He just keeps going through it over and over again. So I feel like Jacob needs help. I don't get why they don't see that. I think Naomi knows, but I don't get why like his father doesn't see it. I don't get why after you do undercover work you don't see a psychologist. Like make it mandatory. That's something I'm not understanding. In real life they probably do that, but
hmm
in the soap world, it is a story. So they're gonna kinda do some weird stuff that's going on. So who do you think is gonna have Jacob suggest him to go to therapy?
Probably Cat before it's over with, but we'll get into them in a second. But let's go back to Naomi. So when he was talking to Naomi, I felt like in that moment when he was pouring his heart out to her, about Derek and the way he's feeling. I don't understand in that moment why she did not suggest that he go see somebody to help him to deal with that. And instead, it was just like, oh, kind of like, well, get over it kind of thing. He was trying to, save you, and just basically just leave it there. It's like he can't. That was traumatizing for him. So I don't understand why she didn't suggest it when they was sitting up there talking, when they was in bed together. That part I didn't understand at all. And I think she's just not really totally plugged in to what's really going on with him. She's listening, but then it's like she's not to me.
Hmm.
And then yeah, when he asked her to share, like, what's going on with her, she's still stalling. She's not bringing up the fact that she, tested positive for that gene. So I just find her to kind of be a little bit on the ridiculous side right now, because she does need to be opening up to him and being honest about her situation too when she's not doing that. And then she even got a call because she was supposed to be at an appointment. She didn't do that either. So it's just like I don't know what's going on with her. She's stubborn. I don't know about her. I just find her to be, like I said again, ridiculous that she's not being forthcoming with information. She got everybody around there thinking that she's good and she's actually not. And I think it's not fair. And then she kept telling Ashley before, oh, when Jacob is done with this, I sit down and tell him the whole truth. Okay, girl, he done with it now. So why aren't you still telling him the whole truth? So now she probably gonna use, oh, he's struggling, so I'm not gonna bring it up. She's just gonna ride that thing to the end and just not share what she needs to share with him. So if they marriage break up, she brought on herself because she's just not being honest with him about stuff.
No,
Now,
I do feel like she wants Jacob to sacrifice a lot. Because when she
yeah,
talked to Danny, Danny's like, she was pretty much telling Naomi, like, you knew who you was marrying. because I don't remember who she was talking to about this, but she said that she knew Jacob wanted to be undercover before they even got married. You knew this. This is what you signed up for. And
Right.
he knew you didn't want kids. That's what he signed up for. But he stayed with you. He's like, okay, whatever. I will stay with you. We don't have to have kids. Okay, but now you want him to sacrifice again for you, Naomi? No, I don't know. I feel like she's one type of people who wants people to give to her, but she won't give back. And I'm not feeling that. And that's kind of how Bill was anyway. So, uh, I don't know. Speaking of ridiculous, we got Leslie. Eva, change the locks,
Please, girl,
get
please.
a security code. I thought Eva owned the building, not Leslie.
I thought so too.
So which one is it, Leslie? Did you buy it and say technically it's mine or something? Because I brought it, even though it's in Eva's name. Like, what's going on? But Eva, please change the locks. Leslie, go get a hobby. You are bored. You don't want to work, so get a hobby. Learn about wigs, sell them, have your own company, like something. It's like she's all up in Eva's business. Eva's busy. She pretty much working two jobs. She's grieving Derek. She has a relationship. The girl is busy. And what does Leslie got going for her?
Well, I like how her dad told her like she need to kind of slow down because she's doing way too much. And I like Eva response. She's like, "I'm sorry to be bringing chaos." And I was like, that was the key word, chaos. And so I like their conversation that they had about her schedule and what's going on because Leslie will just run her ragged.
Mm-hmm.
But it was ridiculous her just sitting up in her apartment because I'm like, what if she was in there with Isaiah? So I'm with you.
She wouldn't
She,
care.
yeah,
She'll probably be listening in. Cause
or
Leslie is just that kind of person. She has no boundaries with Eva.
she might do more than listen in. She might go in there
Yeah, but
and
like,
try to
hey,
join.
what are you
Ah,
doing? Isaiah,
yeah,
you ain't doing that, right? You know what I mean?
yeah.
She be coaching or something.
Step your game up.
Yeah, it's like Leslie has no boundaries with Eva, but Eva has to have those boundaries with her. I mean, Eva does try her best to do that, but Leslie just bamboozles her every single time. Eva, change your locks or change places.
Right.
Something. Get a code that she will never know. Something, because it's ridiculous how she just like, oh, I'm here. Oh, let's go do something. She has work to do.
Well, and then she always tried to make her feel guilty. She's like, "Oh, you're spending time with Isaiah and Ted and the Duprees and everybody, but you're not spending time with me." It's like, yeah, she does spend time with her, but she is kind of stretched too thin because she does have this expanding family,
Mm-hmm.
with helping Samantha and all of that, and Jessica out for the cotillion. So yeah, I kind of feel for Eva because she does have a lot kind of going on her on her plate. But
Yeah.
also she got this raggedy, soon to be mother-in-law. Because
Darlene.
Isaiah
Oh,
is Jacob mama is a piece of work,
Darlene is
boy.
a lot. And I liked how Isaiah, cause she like, oh, let's have a Sunday dinner. It's like, okay, can Eva come? Well, she's not really family. It's like, okay, what about Naomi? She's gonna be there. Well, she is family. And Isaiah like, look, you don't gonna respect Eva or we done. I was like, dang, Isaiah,
Go
okay.
Isaiah,
I
go
said, okay,
Isaiah.
Isaiah, because he's just tired of her crap. And then there, when everything was going on, she is like crazy, overbearing mama. She's like, oh, Jacob, oh, this, okay. And then with the picture stuff, I think Elon probably got one picture of Eva. And then she was about to delete the photo. Luckily, Isaiah said, hey, can you send me a picture? Eva was about to be deleted. I said, good grief, Darlie. And then the way after Elon had gave Jacob his plaque, Naomi tried to go in and hug him, and Darlene just stepped right there and hugged him. I said, oh my goodness. Darlene, you are a little bit too much. But I did like how Leslie walked up in there like, hey, Malone. Hey, Boo. And Darlene, before that, was saying, oh, well, your your ex-wife is living her best life. I'm like, I do not want to see it. Malone's ex-wife whatsoever, because she's probably a copy and paste of Darlene. But I like how Leslie was like, "You better be nice to my dog before I whoop your ass up here." I was like, I was team Leslie then, though.
I was too, because
I was
Leslie was
team
giving it
her.
to her. She talked about her cake. It's dry. Let's throw this thing in the trash. I was like, dang. She was going off. I was like, okay,
It was
Leslie.
hilarious, and Eva is like, Mom, can you like chill out? Like, but I understand where Leslie was coming from because she know Darlene is not respecting Eva. Eva
No.
knows it, but she's kind of like whatever. But what I do like about Eva and Isaiah is that they both stand up to their mothers. Eva tries to, Leslie always bamboozles her. Eva tries to at least, and so does Isaiah with his mom. You don't see Isaiah going off on Leslie or Eva going off on Darlene, and I like that. I feel like that's real because I feel like if my spouse was going off on my mom, I'd be like, "Yo, hold up, I'm supposed to do that. I'm supposed to have a conversation with my parent, not you have a conversation,
Hmm.
and vice versa. If my in-law was going off on me, I would want my partner to stand up for me. So I like how they write that for them because both of them, the mamas, are a little cray cray for me. But I felt like Leslie got her in in her heart, which was when she told Darlene about the dinner. And I was thinking, like, okay, Darlene, do you know about Joey cooking? 'Cause I think some of us feel like Joey's the father
Right.
of Isaiah anyway. So do you know about Joey's cooking? Because that's where he learned it from. Apparently it wasn't from you. It was from Joey. But I liked how Leslie was like, yeah, he was over. He made some good food, some good dessert. It was nice. Because that's something you would never feel. And then she walked over there like, son. And Isaiah just like, hey, Leslie, because he knows how she is.
It was hilarious.
He just chilled with her, and Darlene looked this so pissed, and I was here for it.
Hmm.
I was here for it because her attitude is awful.
It
It
is.
is awful. It's like you mean to this girl for no reason whatsoever, and she chooses not to get to know her. But I also like how Eva and Naomi were talking because Eva helped. Here goes Darlene rearranging stuff,
Hmm.
and Naomi's like, yeah, she does the same thing to me. So I hope in the future we have more scenes between them talking about Darlene. I
Yeah.
think that would be fun to see that, and maybe Naomi could be a friend to Eva
Yes.
potentially,
Hmm.
because Eva does need some friends.
No,
And
I Now I gotta give Naomi credit. I don't like how she is when she's with Jacob, but I gotta say she does make a good friend
hmm
because her going off on Ashley,
I
it
was
was
here
really
for it.
good. Yeah, I was
I was
too.
here for it
She's a good
because
friend.
the way she went off, I was here for it. I say, well, you know what? If her and Ashley don't work out, her and Eva could work out.
Hmm.
Because Ashley, whew, that girl,
But hold on though,
uh,
before we get into them, let's talk about Jacob and the cat hug.
oh yeah,
So
yeah.
prior to that, it seemed like they was testing them out.
hmm
And I was already thinking a long time ago they was probably gonna put them together. Cat to me gets Jacob. And when he was sitting there and she walked in, I think the first words out of her mouth is like, "What's wrong?" Because
hmm
she could see something's wrong with him, and then they talk. But to me, she really gets him. But that hug, I was like, okay. So maybe the writers are still, testing the waters to see what we think about it. But it would be too messy to do.
I want it.
So,
I want it. I want because okay, because we talked about this way back when they were working together about Leslie. We saw a little bit of it. We saw it especially when they were trying to find Chelsea, and now they're circling back to it. I'm like, bring it on. I'm here for it. Because the one thing I noticed that Jacob never told Naomi about him hearing gunshot fires. He
hmm
never told her that, but right off the bat, he told Kat. I
Mhm.
find that very interesting. Why would you tell Kat and not your wife about it? But hey, same thing with Naomi. How come she'll tell Ashley but not Jacob about this cancer gene she got? They pretty much do the same thing to each other when you think
Mhm.
about it. But will it be messy? Yes. And I think it would be good soapy storyline because with the Duprees, they are a very tight knit family. They
Mhm.
have each other's backs. Their villains or enemies are outside. You got Joey, you got Leslie, you have few people on the outside trying to get them. What's her name?
Anastasia.
Anastasia. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's their external enemies. I need some internal stuff going on. And I feel like having Jacob and Kat get together would be very messy because then you have to deal with Dani and Nicole because Dani gonna be pissed off that Nicole's daughter, her niece, decided to sleep with her son-in-law. That's gonna be messy of it. So
Chelsea.
Bill's gonna be upset. Chelsea definitely is gonna be pissed off because Kat is like it's like her sister. So
Mhm.
your sister is messing with your other sister's husband, messy of in itself. And then you got Martin, you got Eva looking Kat sideways. Leslie gonna be like, "Hey, girl." Leslie gonna
Mhm.
be right there, like, so how it feels to be the other woman. I will love that. Yes, it's totally messy, but I think it'd be really good writing if that were to happen. We haven't seen her much with Tomas. It's that lately it's been less
Yes.
and less and less. Now
Yeah.
Tomas may be written off like Derek is very possible. Not like in the way Derek went, but he could be written off at some point or he just go do something else. I'm not sure, but we know it's that Kat hasn't been around Tomas as much as usual. And then with Jacob and Naomi, they're not really seeing eye to eye. So I'm here for it if Jacob and Kat do get together, no matter when. Now, would it be when he's still married to Naomi, or will it be after, or when they split for a moment? Like like the whole thing with Kat and Tomas, they kind of split for a day, and then he slept with Eva, and then they got back together. It could be something like that. I'm here for it. Yes, I am messy, but I'm messy on soaps, not in real life. I
I
got
know
time
that's
for that.
right. I know that's
I
right.
don't got time for that. So let's go on to Naomi and Ashley. Now, what were your thoughts on this? Because Ashley was getting on my nerves.
Actually, no, yeah, she's getting on my nerves too. She like Naomi told her, you let Grayson in, so that means that you're not done with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with Naomi 100% on that. So I mean, Naomi was clocking her. I like I said, I think Naomi, when it comes down to her friendship with Ashley, she's a good friend because she told her things that she needed to hear, and she's like, hey, the way you doing this and that, you wouldn't have been doing this and that if he still was alive because you have broke up with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I mean, she was clocking her. So now I just think Ashley needs to sit in that by herself and just deal with her emotions
Yeah.
because she definitely clocked it. What I didn't like though was when Naomi got done with her, she went to Ortho Jeans and was sitting there talking to Grayson. I did not like that. I felt Naomi was being messy at that point because why are you having this conversation with Grayson? And why are you telling him things that you and Ashley talked about? What's up with the girl code stuff? It's
And
like,
why did you touch his hand like that?
yeah, and yeah, I was about to say that. And then she's touching his hand, and I'm just like, what's going on with you, Naomi? So I liked her when she was talking to Ashley. I didn't care for the conversation she then turned around and had with Grayson. I felt like that conversation was between her and Ashley, and Grayson didn't need to know none of that at all. Period.
No, no, I would just tell Gracie, yeah, I talked to her. She's gonna figure it out, but you do you and leave it at that. I
Right.
wouldn't say anything else. Was she correct on what she said? Yeah, Ashley needs to work on herself. She got a lot of stuff to deal with, but I wouldn't tell Grayson that. That's a little bit too much information. That's like with Naomi. It's like there's certain things she does I agree with, and then she does something else. I'm like, what the heck? It's
Right.
like she does stuff that doesn't make sense to me at times. It's like they kind of have her wishy washy.
Yeah, she is. She's
She's
very
very
wishy-washy.
wishy-washy, depending on who she's around. I don't really care for it. Now, I think this week, many people, I think, realized how wrong they were with the flashback episode. Haley talking to Randy, Bill talking to Caroline, Chelsea and Naomi talking to each other, and we got Dani and Andre. Now, we all knew what a POS Bill was. We've heard it over and over again. We've seen it since the first week of Beyond the Gates. To see it is a whole different thing. To visually see how he treated Dani was awful. I was just like, what the heck is going on? And the way Haley was very quick. She didn't have to do too much, because of course her first mark was Joey. Now I think people forgot that Randy and Haley had talked about this before when it was revealed that she was a con artist. But
Hmm.
I am glad that Beyond the Gates reminded people about that because we already knew that Joey was the first mark. If anything, Randy saved her life because Joey would have saw her 10 miles away. She wouldn't have gotten far with him. But the way she got into Bill's life was very easy. And Naomi, she was giving out a little bit too much information too quickly, is what it seems like. And Haley, she did her thing. It was very easy, but you could tell that Dani cared about Haley like she was part of their family, like another daughter to them. And it just went sour really quickly, especially when Chelsea walked in. Now, I think we didn't know that Chelsea saw them first. And when you look back on season one, I think now we realize why Chelsea was so upset with Bill because she walked in on it. And then Dani, everybody did great in that scene. I felt Carla, who plays Dani, like emotions. I felt her soul did leave her body in that moment when she walked in and saw that. And the way Bill was just going off on her, telling her to calm down. It's like you got your chick in our bed. That's a whole different level of disrespect. It's just so awful. It was a hot mess. It was so hard to watch that scene. And then to have Chelsea back there crying too, and she's just trying to tell Dani to come on, let's go, let's go. It was very heartbreaking to watch that whole scene. I knew Bill was a POS, but dang, the disrespect. And then you start thinking about season one, that like first 2 weeks. Now you see why she did what she was doing. Cause he broke her down. For someone who tries not to be their father, because the way Bill talks about him, saying how his father had broke his mother, Bill pretty much did this exactly the same thing.
So I'm gonna give my take on it. So Naomi, she shouldn't have been running her mouth to Haley.
No.
Now, when I was growing up, I was told what goes on in the house, stay in the house. You don't tell people. Not unless it's something, horribly going on, then that's different. But in this case, it was just cheating going on. So her talking to Naomi talking to Haley about her mom's and dad personal love life, it was none of her business to begin with. So I don't understand why all that conversation was taking place. I understand Haley was trying to also pump her for information, but still, you shut your mouth. That was between the parents. You shouldn't have been telling your parents' business. So that was number one. For me, I did not like that at all. The other thing was when she did have a conversation with Haley about another woman with Bill and some lipstick, and she said she didn't tell Dani, why not? So even though Dani might have known about some of the affairs or all, I'm not sure that he had, as the daughter, if I if it was me and I saw my mom spouse cheating, I would have been like, Ma, I would have said something. So for her not to say anything, I was just like, why? I don't understand that. So she has a habit of keeping things to herself. There's a pattern
Mm-hmm.
going on with
Way
Naomi
too
with
long.
yeah, keeping stuff. And then it reminded me in that scene of what she's keeping from Bill when Haley had that false miscarriage thing that she ran. She's sitting on information that Bill needs to know. And Naomi again is withholding information. So there's a pattern. I don't like it coming from her. Let me move on. The scene that you were just talking about with all of them, Bill, Dani, and Chelsea and Haley there, that was horrible. I agree with you. The person that plays Dani did great because you could feel like everything, all her emotions and what she was going through. It was horrible to see that Chelsea was the first person in the room. I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
always well. First of all, I didn't know that even had existed.
No, I
So
didn't either.
yeah, because we never knew what really happened. I always wonder why she had a lot of hatred for Bill. So now it makes sense why Chelsea has so much hatred at the time for Bill because she was the first one in the room and witnessed the whole thing. The way he talked to her, the way Bill talked to Dani, it was so wrong on so many levels. And then you are standing in the bedroom where y'all, make love and stuff like that with your side piece. And then you are calling your side piece baby and you telling your current wife, oh, I love her and all of this kind. That was hard to watch. I was like, wow. So it really shows you the way Bill was treating Dani at that point. But to me, I don't see how Dani stayed in the house without burning that bed or burning that
Mm-hmm.
thing down to the ground.
She
Um,
she should pull some kind of like burning Dean from Wayne to Exhale, took all her stuff outside and
well,
burn
his
it
too,
down.
yeah, yeah.
I
Because
would
I'm
have
like, I
burned
don't
it.
understand how you stay in the house like that. So hopefully maybe they'll do another scene and show her getting rid of the bed because I'm like, how do you do that? That's a lot to try to wrap your head around that. But yeah, he did her so doggone dirty. And then Haley going to the office with these dresses and all that kind of stuff, inappropriate dress, and then him, getting with her. I said at this point, I don't feel sorry for Bill after watching the whole thing because now Haley is going to try to unalive him so she can get her $10 million. I don't feel sorry for him now. I'm like, you're
No.
getting what you deserve after how you treated Dani. And then I hope Dani doesn't fall back and won't
Yeah.
build back. It's like, girl, for what? He had, you know what, in your house with this side chick or are you she better not ever take him back. I don't care
No.
what's going on. I don't care because Andre treat her good. Andre was like, look, now that you got that off your chest, let me go run you some bath water. I mean, who would not want somebody like that in their life coming off Bill? So I hope she don't go back to him. I really hope she do not do that to herself. And if she do, her mom and them need to be like, you need to go into some kind of mental health facility because clearly something wrong with you to take that man back after all he put you through. That was hell. And that's what we saw because he had other people before Haley.
Yep. He sure did. And she knew about it. It wasn't a surprise. I think her shock was that as long as it was outside the home, it doesn't exist. He brought that into their home. That's a whole different level. It's I think for Dani it was out of sight, out of mind. And he brought that into your home, into your bedroom like that. Not
In front of their daughter too.
Yep.
And he
Right
was so
there.
disrespectful in front of their daughter. I
Mm-hmm.
just was like, I'm surprised she didn't reach up and try to jump up in the air and slap him when it was all going down.
Yeah.
Just a quick pow. How dare you do this to me, kind of thing. I
Yeah.
was just in shock. I was like, girl, you better not ever. I think I start throwing something at the TV and she take that man back.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, I think it was like 50-50. People like, oh yeah, maybe Danny Bill get back together. I think now it went down to maybe like 5%.
Yeah, she
Because
got
I think
that.
I think everybody was like, whoa, like this, like I said, we've heard about it, but we never seen it. So to actually
No,
visually see it, it was very hurtful to just watch that whole thing. But if she does get back with him, it's gonna be very difficult for me to watch
me too.
because it's like, girl, the way he treated you, you went back to Bill instead of staying with Andre because Andre was listening. He was present for her. I know Andre is tired of having this conversation too, but
Yeah,
he's very patient. He said, "Let me make you a bath, and then and you need to be by yourself."
yeah,
I like that because he isn't about him. He's about her. He said
right.
you need to be by yourself in the bathtub, and she like, wow, maybe I do, but it's just her grieving her old self. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with her processing, but don't go back. And then in the promo, they supposed to be stuck in the elevator together. And they may kiss. I
Yeah,
hope one of them is daydreaming. I do not want that to be real. I do not want. I'll be so. I might have to pause for a week on Beyond the
right.
Gates if they
Well, you
do that.
well, you know what? It's unfortunate, but I think the writers are doing a good job at writing this for Beyond the Gates because in real life, some people do that. They
Mm-hmm.
have a guy to treat them so horribly and still go back. So I think
Yeah.
that they write. I believe they
Yeah.
writing is true to its core. I think it's just going to be hard for some of us fans to watch it if she goes back. But in real life, people to go through this kind of stuff.
And the one thing I don't understand about Dani is that she grew up in a loving home. Vernon and Anita. Why did she choose Bill? Because normally, you try to choose someone that's somewhat similar to your father or better. She went worse. My
Yeah,
thing
but
is
I don't.
why did she choose Bill like that?
But no, when they did flashbacks of Bill, Bill wasn't talking to her crazy though. He
Yeah,
he
true.
he yeah, so
True.
he at some point probably when he started getting his practice together, that's probably when he changed.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started to see the real, person that he actually is,
Which is his
unfortunately.
father, probably.
Yeah,
Like
well, and
father,
then
like son.
yeah, and see, sometimes the people that you hate the most are who you become.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably has became the person that he hate the most, which is his own father, because he didn't physically abuse her, but that was abusive. The
Mm-hmm.
way that he treated her, it was horrible. And I just hope that they don't write the character where she goes back. But if they do write it that way, I get it because in real life it happens.
Yeah. Brianna gets please don't do this to us. Please don't. Please don't. I understand if you do as a writer, but please don't. Just I'd rather have the Jacob and Cat mess. All right. I do not want to see Dani go back to Bill. I just cannot see it. Now, next up, we got Joey meeting the Impaler. Now, for months, we've been trying to figure out who the Impaler is. We might see them on Monday. It was Cliffhanger Friday. It seems like Joey knows who it is. So again, who do we think is the Impaler?
I still say Carlton or his sister.
Okay.
If it's anybody else, I don't have a clue.
I want to throw in Monica because we don't know much about her.
True.
I want to throw her in because she could have something going down in Texas.
Mhm.
We don't know. I want to throw in Monica. Yeah, so Monica, Heather, who is Joey's sister, and Carlton. If it's anybody else, I would be surprised. I would not know whatsoever who it could be. But Joey was ready. He had everything ready. Vanessa, another person who was getting on my nerves this week, was trying to like be a mob wife. I'm like, Vanessa, goodbye. How many times does Joey have to tell you you cannot be involved? And
Well,
and and, and for her to keep saying we, what are we gonna do about this? Where are we
right.
going? I'm like, it's not we, Vanessa, it's Joey. What's Joey gonna do about it? It's like the girl she hard headed. Mm-mm.
I'm glad that Joey got her out of there and told Randy to take her. But you know what I forgot about until Randy took her back to Joey's place so she'd be safe there. I like the conversation that they had where she reminded Randy that they go back before her and Joey.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh, dang, because I be forgetting that sometimes that they all ran together, her, Doug, and Vanessa and Randy. I forget that
Mm-hmm.
history there. I hope they do some flashbacks if they can on when they was all connected, the three of them, Doug, Vanessa, and Randy. That would be a
Mm-hmm.
good throwback to know how that kind of came to be because I forget that. But I thought that was interesting that she brought that up. That they, always kind of had each other backs and they've been going and they known each other from way back in the day before Doug was even, into the gates at that point, with Vanessa. So I thought that was interesting. But Randy did go back to get a protection because Vanessa thing was, can you please protect Joey? Because she didn't want to lose Joey to, because she lost Doug, and that made sense. So
Mm-hmm.
I was glad Randy did go back. And even Joey was like, I'm glad that you came or whatever. So that he has that backup.
Yeah, back up for the backup because
Hmm.
Joey looks scared.
He does.
He looked scared. He didn't know what was about to happen. But if it is his sister, I wonder how he's gonna play it.
Hmm.
Because he thinking it's someone he doesn't know. This is family. Now it's personal.
Right.
That's a whole different level. So I'm wondering how all that's gonna go down on Monday. I look forward to that. And also a reminder, Young and the Restless crossover is coming on Tuesday. So please watch it. I look so forward to this crossover.
It
For
looks
s- it
good.
looks really good. I saw a couple of promos. Somebody looked like they're gonna be injured. Some people saying Martin or Eva could be injured.
Did you see? I guess the guy name is Victor from Young and the Restless. Did
Victor
you see the
Newman.
helicopter and all
Yeah.
that? I was like, okay.
Yes. Yes. I was watching an interview with the actress that plays Nicole and the actor that plays Jack. And Nicole, the actress, was saying like the production is really good, like movie level kind of stuff. So I think we're going to see a lot of things moving around. There's going to be so many people in one scene. So I feel like it's kind of similar to when the Leslie Eva stuff was revealed, how everybody was like there in that one
Hmm.
scene. I think it's going to be similar like that, but just much bigger going on. So I'm looking forward to this Beyond the Gates so Young and the Restless crossover. I am hyped for it. And yeah, that's our take on Beyond the Gates this week. Thank you everybody for listening and following and leaving us reviews. Yes, we have fun doing this and we also take it very seriously. That that's from a view we got the other day. So thank you everybody for listening. Be safe out there. Until next time.
Bye, everyone.